Ford. Harrison Ford doesn't hold Han Solo in the same regards as the fans do. Far from it. He loathed the role and everything that came with it, so much so that it's rumored he would only return to The Force Awakens if the directors killed him off so that he could be done with the role once and for all.
You work for like 25 years for the company, you do your job, and then they just let you go.
In this case, they actually killed you.
Shocking.
He is certainly glad to be out of the franchise, and we're fairly certain that he won't be doing any guest appearances anytime soon. And before you say it, Han shot first, okay? And if you disagree, these are not the videos you were looking for. Just kidding, this is the place to be. Number 9. Miley Cyrus. Miley famously got her start on the Disney Channel as Hannah Montana, which would be any little girl's dream, or so you might think. The show had a sweet premise that many celebrities could relate to. Hannah was a mega pop star with hundreds of fans and hardly any freedom, who struggled to keep her real identity secret from her friends and fans so that she could have a little taste of normality.
Hannah?
Hi! The kid from the moon roof! Look at you all upside right!
The thing is, Miley wanted to be Miley. She did enjoy acting, but the role has done nothing but haunt her.
I knew that I was getting to live what I wanted to do, and I got to do two things that I loved. I got to act at that time, and I got to be funny, and I got to wear a wig, and that was awesome.
She definitely isn't that cheesy kid anymore, but now that she's all grown up, that show is as embarrassing to her as a parent pulling out the baby pictures. Number 8. Will Smith. Deadshot, Hancock, Aladdin's Genie. He's had some great roles, but what do we all remember Will Smith for? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, of course.
No.
Will may hate the stigma of the role and the way he performed it, but he's still a very appreciative, cool guy, as shown by his repeat performances of the signature song, and of course, joining the Carlton dance. Number 7. Robert Pattinson. Twilight fever swept the nation, featuring some of our now much-loved stars Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, and Taylor Lautner. But for Robert Pattinson, it was not a period that he wants to remember.
When I read it, it seemed like it was a book that wasn't supposed to be published.
It was so long.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And we were shooting it.
He actually insults the books and the films repeatedly. Many critics said that it was an offensive representation of relationships, and Robert Pattinson agrees. He struggled to get into character and loathed the way his character was written.
Know what to expect when you're expecting a half-vampire child?
No, they look on Google Images. That was one of the funniest scenes I've ever had to do in my life. It's like...
He also pointed out that there's so much in the plot that just doesn't make sense. He was way happier as Cedric in Harry Potter, and they killed him off in his first feature. Sounds like he wished they would have done that to Edward Cullen.
No, everyone thinks I should have done. Well, maybe I should have done, but I read the book before the audition, and there wasn't any part of the character which I didn't think I could play.
Number 6. Angus T. Jones. Angus T. Jones was made famous playing Jane in 2.5 Men, but the older he got, the more disgusted he became with what the show was portraying. From bad parenting to misogyny and making light of addiction, it wasn't long before he realized that he was participating in the perpetuation of some very un-Christian behavior. It wasn't all fun off-screen.
Would you eat spaghetti?
I love spaghetti.
Great. Would you prefer vermicelli or linguine?
Spaghetti.
All right.
Once he found his faith, being in the show became very difficult, and he battled with balance for years. Eventually, he quit because of the low morality aspect, and he wishes that he could have done it earlier.
I mean, Jake from 2.5 Men means nothing. He is non-existent character. He's 2.5 Men. If you watch 2.5 Men, please stop watching 2.5 Men.
Number 5. Christopher Plummer. Christopher Plummer hated his character of Captain Von Trapp in The Sound of Music, despite it being a classic. He claimed that the character was boring to play and dull as a person. He said that trying to inject the role with any semblance of fun was like flogging a dead horse. Number 4. Andrew Lincoln. Love Actually is one of those Christmas movies that we watch year in and year out. It's just that good. And with that many stars, you think that any actor involved would feel like they had struck gold for growing their own talent. Andrew Lincoln wasn't exactly pleased. It was the first big role that this The Walking Dead star had, but he preferred playing with zombies. So, sorry to any of you who are fantasizing about a romantic moment in the snow with Andrew. He could save you from a zombie though, and that's romantic, right? It's clear to see what a blast he had on set when you take a peek behind the scenes.
This isn't the end.
Number 3. Sean Connery. It's true, the James Bond franchise will never be the same. He had as much style and class as his signature drink.
A martini, shaken, not stirred.
The Scottish-born actor played Bond in 7 of the films, and we think that they are some of the most memorable. He certainly wasn't quiet about his feelings on the role either. In one interview, he was quoted as saying, "I hate that James Bond. I'd like to kill him." We removed one word, but we're sure that you'll get the gist. Despite that, he was full of class, and no wonder, he gave a $3 million set of performances. He even had his suit tailored by Savile Row and rocked the 3-piece suit years before it became cool again, showing he was a man who could never go out of style. Number 2. Zac Efron. Zac Efron is a Hollywood heartthrob and a hilarious guy who's been in some absolutely brilliant shows.
She takes it to another level, man, and I'm telling you, if I don't call her from your house in Boca, I'm screwed. Well,
what he doesn't find funny is being reminded of his time in High School Musical. High School Musical became a smash hit success virtually overnight with its warm feels and cheesy songs. It may have launched Zac's career, but sometimes he feels like he is drowning in the shame. Number 1. Kate Winslet. Chances are that as soon as you hear the name Kate Winslet, the image of Rose Dawson in Titanic will spring to mind. Probably the scene where she promises to never let go, and then promptly lets go.
I'll never let go. I promise.
And she hates that scene. Despite her performance in Titanic being her breakout role and a box office hit, Kate has tried to forget the role. Then again, between her nude scene, that car moment, and spitting on deck, it was always going to be a little uncomfortable somewhere. Who knew that the main awkwardness would come off-screen? Director James Cameron was allegedly incredibly mean to her on set, and was even caught calling her Kate Weighs a Lot. He was known for having an explosive temper, getting angry at virtually everything, and generally being a first-class jerk. And if that wasn't bad enough, Kate has been quite vocal on the fact that she thinks her performance was utterly terrible. She wishes she could go back and do it again, but we think she's giving herself a hard time. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. It was a blast to make. Don't forget to turn on notifications after you ring that subscription bell to see more explosive content that will blow your mind.